Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, onto the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! Some wild chatter has been circling the streets of Glasgow this week, and it seems the Rangers dugout has been at the eye of a storm that could stir up the fiercest debates between fans of the old firm. Rumors are flying thick and fast that Russell Martin, the man at the helm of Rangers, might have dropped a heavy jibe aimed squarely at the Celtic supporters, and if the whispers hold any weight, it's the kind of provocation that doesn't just vanish after a few posts on social media. Word is this alleged insult wasn't a passing remark. It's being painted as deliberate, a calculated move perhaps, intended to send a message or unsettle the arch rival's fan base ahead of upcoming clashes. Naturally, the Celtic faithful aren't taking kindly to the notion, and chatter in the pubs and online forums suggests a mix of outrage and disbelief, as supporters scratch their heads trying to fathom what could have prompted such a public dig. Some reckon Martin's words, if they truly occurred as suggested, might spark a whole new layer of tension in an already heated rivalry, where every glance, every gesture, and every quip is scrutinized with almost detective-like precision. Adding fuel to the speculative fire, insiders hint that there may be video or audio clips circulating quietly amongst select circles, snippets that supposedly capture Martin's remarks. These leaks, though unverified, are being dissected endlessly, each intonation and pause examined for hidden meaning or intent. The murmurs suggest that if Rangers fans have been trying to downplay the story, the Celtic side sees it as a provocation they can't just ignore, with social media users already creating memes and posts that replay the alleged insult in every imaginable context. Even without official confirmation, the way these rumors have taken hold points to the delicate balance in Glasgow football culture, where words can inflame tempers as much as the fiercest tackles on the pitch. Observers suggest that Martin's reputation as a tactical thinker could be overshadowed, temporarily at least, by his supposed flair for stirring controversy. And in a world where football personalities are measured as much by their social media footprint as by their performance in the dugout, a single incendiary comment, real or imagined, could reverberate across fan communities and tabloids alike, leading to endless speculation about his motives and the potential fallout. Meanwhile, chatter from certain quarters implies that the alleged insult could be part of a broader strategy, whether conscious or inadvertent. Some pundits reckon that Martin might be playing mind games, trying to destabilize the opposition before a crucial fixture, while others are more cynical, suggesting it could just be an ill-judged off-the-cuff remark that snowballed into something much bigger. There's talk that Rangers insiders are nervously monitoring the reaction, aware that every word Martin utters is now under a microscope, with the Celtic fan base possibly mobilizing chants, banners, and online campaigns in retaliation. Whispers even hint at private conversations within the club, discussions over damage control, and whether Martin himself should address the allegations publicly to calm the mounting tension. Social media amplifies everything, and the way these stories spiral, facts and fiction often blur together, giving rise to a narrative that might be far more dramatic than any actual exchange. Some claim that if the incident is genuine, it could reignite old rivalries and rivalries within rivalries, with older fans reminiscing about similar provocations and younger fans eager to keep the cycle alive. Even journalists who usually shy away from speculation are reportedly nibbling at the edges of the story, keen to see if Martin will step up or let the whispers fester in the shadows. Other chatter suggests that Celtic supporters are already planning their own response, whether through chants at matches, viral posts online, or playful mockery aimed at Rangers camp. If the rumors have merit, Martin's alleged words could spark a kind of cultural conversation in Glasgow football, one that goes beyond tactics and form, touching on pride, rivalry, and identity. Insiders hint that certain fan groups are treating the incident like a call to arms, using it to galvanize morale and reinforce the narrative that Celtic will not be trifled with. Social media, naturally, is brimming with conjecture. Every snippet of speculation treated as a potential smoking gun, even as journalists and commentators stress the lack of verified sources. Observers note that football has always thrived on drama, and the notion that Martin might have thrown verbal shade at Celtic fans is the perfect storm, mixing rivalry, social media hysteria, and the natural instinct to debate endlessly. Whether the alleged insult was a calculated dig or a spontaneous slip, the fact that it's now a hot topic suggests the delicate interplay of football identity and emotion in Glasgow is alive and well, ready to explode at the slightest spark. Meanwhile, across the forums, the debate is split, with some fans defending Martin, claiming he's a passionate coach who sometimes lets his guard down, while others argue that no one in a position of responsibility should ever risk alienating the broader fan base. Speculation abounds that Rangers might quietly counsel their manager, warning him to tread carefully in future public appearances, though others reckon he thrives in controversy, feeding off the attention it brings. Some insiders whisper about potential PR interventions, while others suggest the club might ignore it entirely, allowing the story to fade naturally as the season progresses. Social media, however, has a long memory, and if the alleged remarks gain traction, they could become part of Martin's personal legend, debated and dissected for years. Football fans love to turn minor incidents into epic narratives, and the idea of a Rangers manager provocatively targeting Celtic supporters is almost tailor-made for endless speculation. Even casual observers are drawn in, eager to understand what might have been said, why it happened, and what consequences could follow. The beauty of such rumors lies in their uncertainty, keeping conversations alive, posts viral, and speculation thriving in every corner of the football community. Some say the timing of the alleged comment is crucial, happening just before a period packed with high-stakes matches where Rangers and Celtic could face off multiple times. The rumor mill suggests this is no accident, and even if Martin did not intend to stir controversy, the proximity to major fixtures makes it more combustible. Observers note that the old firm rivalry has always been about psychology as much as skill, with managers and players alike using mind games to gain an edge, and if Martin's words are genuine, they fit neatly into that historic narrative. Others reckon the story might have been exaggerated, blown out of proportion by social media, yet the mere possibility is enough to ignite discussions in living rooms, pubs, and online communities across Scotland. Fans speculate endlessly, theorizing about motivations, hidden meanings, and how the opposition might respond. Even seasoned analysts find themselves drawn into the whirlpool of conjecture, weighing in with educated guesses about how the alleged insult could shape the mental dynamics of upcoming clashes. The beauty of football gossip is that it never really settles, constantly evolves, and a Martin Celtic chatter is no exception, feeding the collective curiosity of fans eager for drama and spectacle. Insiders also hint at potential repercussions beyond the pitch, suggesting that sponsors, local media, and community organizations might start monitoring the situation more closely. While it's all speculative, some reckon that if the comments gain enough attention, Rangers might need to navigate a tricky landscape of public relations, fan reactions, and media scrutiny. The rumor is already spawning endless headlines, social media debates, and even late-night discussions on sports talk shows, all dissecting every nuance of Martin's persona and alleged statements. A few pundits argue that this could redefine how managers are perceived, with words carrying as much weight as tactics and formations. And a single quip, whether real or imagined, could echo for weeks. Fans are naturally divided, with some rallying behind their manager celebrating his fiery passion, and others condemning any potential slight to a rival supporter base. The speculation alone is enough to fuel countless narratives, ensuring that Martin remains center stage, not just for his coaching acumen, but also for the alleged verbal fireworks that may have set Glasgow buzzing with debate and anticipation. Finally, chatter suggests that this isn't likely to be the last we hear of the story, with fans, journalists, and commentators all poised to follow up on any snippet of evidence or additional rumors. The drama seems perfectly tailored for the modern football landscape, where speculation spreads faster than confirmed news and where the line between fact and fiction blurs in the heat of rivalry. Whether the alleged insult from Martin ever gets officially confirmed or quietly denied, the ripple effects are already tangible, with conversations in pubs, social media threads, and even casual discussions in the city keeping the story alive. Some say this is classic Old Firm theater, where provocation, pride, and passion intersect, and where managers, players, and fans alike play their part in a drama that transcends 90 minutes of football. The speculation itself feeds the legend, creating layers of narrative that may never fully resolve, but keep everyone on edge, eager for the next twist in the ongoing saga of Rangers, Celtic, and the fiery personalities that define this iconic rivalry. The latest murmurs coming out of the city suggest that some in the Celtic camp have been quietly gathering their own accounts of the alleged moment, piecing together snippets from fans who claim to have been close enough to hear Martin's words. These so-called eyewitness accounts vary wildly, which only adds to the mystery. Some describe it as a cheeky throwaway comment delivered with a grin, while others paint it as a biting, deliberate insult aimed straight at the green and white faithful. That lack of consistency only fuels the fire, giving each fan the freedom to imagine the version that suits their own narrative best. The story now lives in multiple forms, each one passed around like a treasured secret in pubs and group chats, growing more colorful with each telling. It's this kind of folklore building that makes Glasgow football unique. A single rumor can evolve into a full-blown legend before anyone even knows whether it's true. And as the next big match between Rangers and Celtic looms ever closer, the question on everyone's lips is whether Martin will address the swirling speculation head on or simply let the tension build to a fever pitch by match day, letting the fans' imaginations do the rest. Some pundits in the local sports media have been coy in their coverage, suggesting they've heard things, but refusing to go into specifics. A tactic that only deepens the intrigue. One radio host claimed during a late-night call-in that he had a trusted source confirm the gist of Martin's alleged words, though he stopped short of repeating them on air, hinting that they were not for polite company. That alone has set social media ablaze, with users spinning theories about what could be so inflammatory. Others have suggested that this radio tease was just a ploy to boost listenership. But the damage is done. People are talking, and the Rangers boss is at the center of every conversation. Fans from both sides have begun sharing old clips of previous managers caught in similar controversies, comparing tones, body language, and even lip movements and slow-motion replays to try. And guess the truth, the lack of clarity has turned this from a one-day rumor into an ongoing saga. And even those who admit they don't believe a word of it are still watching closely to see what unfolds next. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. On the Rangers side, whispers indicate that the club's higher-ups are divided on how to handle the chatter. Some think silence is the best policy, letting the story burn itself out without feeding the flames. Others argue that Martin should issue some kind of vague statement, not to confirm or deny, but to reframe the conversation and show he's focused on football. Rumor has it that one or two board members are concerned about the long-term PR implications, fearing that the incident, whether real or imagined, could become part of his managerial identity, overshadowing his tactical decisions. Meanwhile, fans in the Rangers' end are mostly split between pride in a manager they see as unafraid to ruffle feathers and nervousness that this could give Celtic extra motivation in upcoming matches. In an environment where psychology plays such a big role, even the perception of a slight can be used to fuel performances on the pitch. And as the tension builds, there's a sense that every word Martin says in the coming weeks will be analyzed, parsed, and stored away by both friend and foe alike, ready to be used at the perfect moment. Across the city, Celtic supporters have started weaving the alleged insult into their pre-match build-up rituals, using it as a rallying cry in the days leading to fixtures. Reports from fan groups suggest they've been brainstorming chants that twist Martin's supposed words into sarcastic refrains designed to echo around the stadium and remind the Rangers boss that they haven't forgotten. Whether these chants will make it past the stewards and into the stands remains to be seen, but the idea alone is enough to get supporters buzzing. Social media mock-ups of banners and tifos featuring tongue-in-cheek digs at Martin have been circulating, with some gaining thousands of likes in just hours. For Celtic fans, it's about more than a single comment. It's about turning perceived disrespect into energy, the same way rivalries have thrived for over a century. By amplifying the story, they ensure it stays in the public eye, making it harder for Rangers to brush it aside. And as is often the case in football folklore, the actual truth of the comment becomes less important than the passion it stirs, allowing the rivalry to take center stage long before a ball is even kicked. Interestingly, some former players have started weighing in, not directly confirming anything, but offering knowing smiles and cryptic remarks when asked about the story. On one sports TV panel, a retired striker joked that managers say worse in the tunnel every week, while another ex-pro hinted that Martin's words, if genuine, were cheeky rather than cruel. These half answers only add layers to the narrative, letting each side interpret them in a way that suits their bias. Fans who want to believe Martin went for the jugular will hear confirmation, while those who think the whole thing is overblown will chalk it up to harmless banter. In this way, the rumor has become self-sustaining, needing no hard evidence to keep the conversation alive. It taps into something fundamental about the old firm rivalry, the need for constant drama, for stories that keep both fan bases engaged even in the absence of actual matches. And in this case, whether Martin's comment was calculated or careless, the way it's been received proves that in Glasgow football, perception is as powerful as fact, and sometimes even more enduring in the hearts and minds of supporters. Behind closed doors, there's talk that Martin himself might be enjoying the chaos, seeing it as a way to solidify his connection with Rangers fans who relish a manager unafraid to go toe-to-toe with Celtic. Some speculate he's fully aware of the psychological warfare at play and might even be ready to drop further subtle digs in interviews, knowing the opposition will hang on every word. Others, however, think he's been caught off guard by how far the rumor has spread and is quietly frustrated that his focus on football is being overshadowed by off-pitch drama. Either way, the situation has given him a kind of notoriety that many managers never achieve, and whether it's a blessing or a burden will depend on how the next few matches play out. If Rangers perform well, the narrative will be that Martin's fire fuels results. If they falter, critics will say the distractions cost them. The beauty of this moment, from a fan's perspective, is that every outcome feeds the story, ensuring that the rumor will remain relevant no matter what happens on the pitch. It's a perfect example of how football thrives on a mix of sport and spectacle. There are even whispers of documentary crews sniffing around the edges of the story, hoping to capture the atmosphere of an old firm season where off-field drama rivals the intensity of the matches themselves. Though nothing is confirmed, a few production insiders have hinted that the Martin incident could make for a perfect narrative thread in a season-long look at Scottish football culture. It's the kind of subplot that keeps neutral viewers hooked, showcasing the rivalries, passions, and personalities that make this corner of the footballing world so unique. Fans who've lived through decades of old firm clashes know that moments like this, rumored insults, mysterious glances, coded celebrations, are part of what makes the rivalry timeless. And even if this particular story eventually fades, its echoes will linger in chants, memes, and pub conversations for years to come. In a strange way, the lack of definitive proof gives it more staying power, allowing each retelling to grow a little bigger, a little bolder. And as long as Rangers and Celtic keep battling for supremacy, there will always be room for one more legendary tale of words said, or maybe not said, that shook Glasgow to its core. With all this swirling around, the stage is set for the next Old Firm clash to be more than just a game. It's now the unofficial verdict on the Martin saga. Will Celtics fans deliver their revenge in the stands? Will Rangers rally behind their boss and turn the speculation into swagger? No one can say for certain, but the air around Glasgow feels charged, as if the city itself is holding its breath for the next act in the drama. Even neutrals are picking sides in the debate, deciding whether Martin is a master of mind games or simply caught in a rumor he can't shake. Whatever the truth, the fact that this story has dominated headlines, radio talk, and social media feeds for this long is a testament to the power of football culture in Scotland. It's a reminder that here, the game is never just about the Scoreline. It's about pride, passion, and the never-ending war of words that plays out in parallel to the football itself. And whether Martin ever chooses to speak openly about it or not, the legend has already taken root, ready to be retold for years in the colourful language of Glasgow's terraces. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.